The 13 most intense fight scenes in Reacher, ranked, as fans anxiously await the upcoming third season of the adrenaline-pumping extravaganza. Why not relive all the excitement and action of the first two entries? Reacher is celebrated by audiences for its rough and violent fight scenes, all of which showcase the stoic protagonist's tenacity and strength. With so many epic moments to choose from, let's take a look at some of the best fight scenes from Prime Video's Reacher, at least so far, as we prepare for the latest installment. If there's one thing that gets under Reacher's skin the most, it's the mistreatment of an innocent person, and a carjacker discovered this the hard way from the hulking and powerful protagonist in the Season 2 opener, ATM. After departing Margrave, Georgia, and heading to Arkansas to collect his pension check, Reacher stumbles upon an attempted carjacking when a visibly shaken woman attempts to retrieve funds from an ATM machine. Reacher rises to the occasion, quickly deducing that something was seriously wrong with the frightened female and swiftly honing in on the situation at hand. Reacher covertly tells the woman not to turn around, and after questioning her discovers that her child is in the back seat of a minivan with the assailant. Reacher stalks towards the vehicle in question, wrapping his coat around his fist and slamming it through the driver's side window where the carjacker is sitting, and bashing both the man's hand and head with the car door and reuniting the scared boy with his emotional mother. Fans were thrilled when the smug and deplorable KJ was shown just what Reacher was made of in No Apologies, which sees the Season 1 villain learn a brutal lesson after his actions come back to bite him in the butt and attract the unwanted attention of the beloved hero. After KJ vandalizes Roscoe's truck, the normally unflappable Reacher decides to blow off some steam and confront the villain as he's sitting down to eat a meal with his cronies at a restaurant. Reacher previews what's in store for KJ. Never one to make a modest entrance, Reacher pulls up a chair and takes a seat next to KJ, stealing a fry and staring down the cocky young man with his penetrating stare. Reacher questions what kind of man KJ is, rightfully calling him a spoiled rich boy who hides behind his daddy's money and calling him out for trying to intimidate a woman half his size. When KJ's smart mouth gets the best of him, Reacher viciously slaps the antagonist to the ground before doing some seriously impressive work with a tablecloth and relentlessly taking down his goons before Roscoe and Finley arrive to break it up. Season 2 largely follows Reacher and his former military police unit as they look into the startling murder of one of their own, and together they set out to avenge their friend's death and get to the bottom of a conspiracy. In the episode What Happens in Atlantic City, Reacher and Dixon are out for a walk in the city when they realize that they are being followed on their late-night stroll, prompting the duo to seek refuge at a local construction site and come up with a plan of attack. They are pursued by their determined attackers and split up at the site, with Reacher climbing up to a higher level and luring one of the assailants away from Dixon. Reacher violently battles against one of the men once they both reach the top of the structure, hurling cinder blocks at him after being sliced by the mercenary's knife. He ends up tossing the man over the side of the railing where he crashes into a pile of his makeshift weapon of choice below, as Dixon uses a crowbar to take down another attacker, and Reacher suffocates a third man in cement. The Reacher series, based on Lee Child's beloved Jack Reacher novels, brings no-holds-barred action to life with intense fight scenes that showcase Reacher's unmatched skill, tactical mind, and brute strength. Whether he's taking on an entire gang or executing precise takedowns, the series delivers moments that are as thrilling as they are brutal. Here are the 13 most intense fight scenes, ranked by their creativity, stakes, and sheer ferocity. 13. Reacher versus the Bar Thugs. In this early introduction to Reacher's power, a group of rowdy bar-goers make the mistake of picking a fight with him. Reacher dismantles them with surgical precision, using their own overconfidence against them. While it's a quick scene, it perfectly sets the tone for his no-nonsense approach to combat. 12. The alleyway ambush. This gritty encounter sees Reacher cornered in a dark alley by multiple attackers. Using his surroundings to his advantage, he grabs objects like trash can lids and pipes to even the odds. The fight demonstrates Reacher's resourcefulness under pressure and his ability to turn a bad situation into his favor. 11. Prison cafeteria chaos. Reacher finds himself in the middle of a prison cafeteria brawl, and all eyes are on him. Despite being outnumbered, he quickly asserts dominance by taking down the biggest, most dangerous inmates first. This fight is intense because of its claustrophobic setting and the palpable sense of danger. 10. Reacher versus the Farmhouse Goons. In a rural farmhouse, Reacher faces off against a group of hired goons. The fight stands out for its tactical choreography, as Reacher lures his opponents into tight spaces where they can't use their numbers to overwhelm him. The mix of hand-to-hand combat and improvised weapons adds an extra layer of excitement. 9. The Diner Showdown. In one of the series' more stylish fights, Reacher takes on a group of armed men in a cramped diner. The tight quarters amplify the stakes, and Reacher's quick reflexes and brutal efficiency leave no doubt about his mastery of close-quarters combat. 8. Parking Garage Takedown. This fight sees Reacher cornered in a parking garage with armed enemies closing in. He uses the environment to stay one step ahead, blending stealth and raw strength. The sequence is tense and showcases Reacher's ability to think on his feet. 7. Reacher vs. Kleiner's Enforcers. The Kleiner family sends a group of enforcers to eliminate Reacher, but they grossly underestimate him. This fight is memorable for its relentless pace and the way Reacher dispatches each opponent with increasing intensity, culminating in a satisfying victory. 6. Warehouse Melee. Reacher infiltrates a warehouse full of armed criminals, leading to a brutal fight that feels like a game of cat and mouse. The scene is packed with high stakes, as Reacher must fight to save an alley while evading gunfire. His calculated aggression ensures that every move counts. 5. The Forest Ambush. Set against the backdrop of a dense forest, this fight blends survivalist instincts with Reacher's raw power. Ambushed by a group of mercenaries, he uses the terrain to his advantage, setting traps and engaging in one-on-one combat that highlights his versatility as a fighter. 4. Police Station Escape. Trapped in a corrupt police station, Reacher must fight his way out against a mix of crooked cops and hired guns. This sequence is exhilarating with its mix of strategy, misdirection, and Reacher's signature brute force. The confined setting adds tension and forces him to rely on both brains and brawn. 3. Reacher vs. Picard. The showdown between Reacher and Picard, one of the main antagonists, is as personal as it gets. Both men are evenly matched, making this one of the series' most emotionally charged fights. The choreography is brutal, and every punch carries weight as Reacher fights not just to survive but to settle a score. 2. Warehouse Finale. The climactic fight scene in the series finale pits Reacher against a small army of henchmen. With high stakes and no room for error, this extended sequence delivers on every level, from intense hand-to-hand combat to clever strategy. It's a true showcase of Reacher's abilities and determination. 1. The Bathroom Beatdown. Topping the list is this unforgettable scene where Reacher takes on multiple attackers in a cramped bathroom. The fight is brutally realistic, with bone-crunching hits and an emphasis on close-quarters combat. Reacher's ability to dominate the fight despite the confined space and overwhelming odds makes this the most intense and iconic moment in the series. Each of these fight scenes captures what makes Reacher such an engaging and action-packed series. Whether it's his calculated moves, his unstoppable strength, or his tactical mind, Jack Reacher proves time and again that he's not someone to mess with. Which scene is your favorite? Action-packed series. Whether it's his calculated moves, his unstoppable strength, or his tactical mind, Jack Reacher proves time and again that he's not someone to mess with. Which scene is your favorite?